topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon, New Jersey. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where for the last 16 years we have brought you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Boy, do we have a great show for you today. The reason why I'm saying it's great is we receive so many emails from you, the listeners, saying, how come you don't do a Medicare show? And we get this all the time, but this show has basically been sold out for about the last 3 or 4 years. And we finally got an opening, and that was the first thing I did is try to find a great agent for Medicare, because it is, without a doubt, this is dear to my heart because I'm on Medicare, but we've found the best agent in Stephen Fromm with the Fromm Insurance Services. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to the Ask the Expert show. Stephen, your first show.
Yes, my very first show. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate it.
No, actually, we appreciate you. So, Stephen, tell us about your agency.
Sure. So my name is Stephen Fromm. I am the owner of Fromm Insurance Services. We're located here in New Jersey. Founded the company a few years ago. So before that, I was just an independent agent, and I decided to open my own agency. Medicare is near and dear to my heart. I love helping seniors. My big thing is I always tell seniors, customer for life, and my goal is to make a positive difference in their lives. And that's what I do. Really enjoy it.
So I'm going to lay some things on you today, which I won't have to do next month when you're back with us again. But I got to tell people how important it is that you have a good agent. And the reason why I really emphasize that is because my first year, I had the worst agent. And what made him so bad was he only gave me basically one choice. That I should have known then that there was going to be a problem. But then the second year, he was just going to rewrite the same policy when there's other policies out there. So there was no customer service at all. And Stephen, I know that customer service has got to be important to you.
It's everything. You know, loyalty of my customers, like I said, always helping my customers and making a difference. I had a woman this morning just say to me, I spent extra time with her, and she's like, wow, I've never had anybody explain the benefits like this to me before. You're so thorough. I said, well, that's why I run my business. I'm here to help you make a positive difference. So it's great. And she already sent me a referral. So
nice.
Really well.
Absolutely. You know, I want to tell, because some of the texts we got in, people are concerned about these national ads about Medicare. And what people don't realize is it's basically different in every county. So how can you have one coverage for the whole entire United States? Isn't that right?
Correct. The plans are very different in each state. And then if you go down even further, each county. And with all the changes this year, there have been for example, a lot of Medicare Advantage plans that are no longer being offered in that market. And unfortunately, a lot of seniors don't read their notices of change. They're not aware of that. And it's going to come as a surprise to some people. And some other people enjoy their plan and they don't want to change. But unfortunately, that plan is changing, no longer being offered. So they have to change. So there's a lot of changes in the market with Medicare Advantage, with Part D prescription drugs, as well as Medicare supplemental plans, and what we'll say is rate increases. It's going to be a challenging time
Yes.
right now. Definitely.
Stephen, I just learned a new lesson. So 2 years ago, went and had an eye exam. Didn't cost me anything because of my Medicare, and the glasses didn't cost me anything. I went in for glasses about a week ago, new glasses a week ago, and $140. So you've really got to look at your plans every month.
You really need to take time to, especially now during open enrollment, it's so important to take the time and review all your plans. And like an experienced agent like myself helps them do that.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I've had friends of mine tell me they weren't so happy with Medicare. Stephen, I'm going to tell you something. I love Medicare. It has been it has been so good to me.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm just going to give you a small example. Then I've got so many questions for you. I'm going to admit I'm on Ozempic, and it's very expensive.
That is a
So
tricky one.
yeah, so my first 6 months it was only $30 out of pocket a month, and that's a lot cheaper than normal. And then my last 6 months, I don't have to pay anything.
That's great.
So that's just one drug. And I got to tell you, that's why having a good agent who can do basically, you do the legwork for everybody, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yep. Take the time to, you know, do the research. That's what I like doing. Sometimes I'm working with families and I just don't know the answer. And I will tell them that I don't know the answer right now, but I will do the research and get back to you and we'll get the right answer for you. So makes a difference.
Well, the number one question that we've got our eight texts already. Four of them all were the same question, Stephen. What is the difference between Medicare and Medicaid?
Wow, that's a great question. Medicare is the federal program with Medicare Part A and Part B. It can also be, and that's through the federal government with a supplemental plan, of course, and Part D, or it can be a Medicare Advantage plan. Medicaid is a state-run program, and the Medicaid varies from state to state on how you qualify. I am not a Medicaid expert. The rules are extremely complex. I always
Yes.
advise families to, contact social services to go through the steps and learn about Medicaid. And there are quite a few people that are on Medicare and Medicaid at the same time. And that is a different conversation that I have with some seniors regarding what that means to them with respect to a Medicare enrollment.
Well, you were just able to release what's in the plan for Medicare. It was kind of a big secret up until last week, but any big changes in New Jersey for Medicare?
Yes, there are a lot of changes. As I mentioned, there are a lot of Medicare Advantage plans, for example, that are no longer being offered. And a lot of seniors need to choose a different plan. There are a lot of changes right now on the landscape with respect to Part D prescription drug plans, the cost of the premiums, the cost of the drugs. That's why I tell everyone I work with during open enrollment, we need to take the time to review all of your benefits to make sure that you enrolled in the right plan that meets your healthcare needs. That's what we need to do. That's important.
Exactly. What's difference between the original Medicare and Medicare Advantage?
Well, original Medicare is through the federal government, and that includes Part A for hospital care and Part B for medical care. Medicare Advantage, also known as Part C, is offered by private insurance companies as compared to the federal government. It bundles all of your benefits together. So, for example, it includes Part A, Part B, as well as prescription drugs, as well as some additional benefits, including like dental, vision, hearing, maybe a gym membership as well. So it's all encompassed compared to original Medicare, where you have Part A, Part B, your supplemental, and prescription drug plans. So there's a big difference.
Stephen, yeah, when we first talked, I got to tell you, and this is so important that people understand this. I actually missed because I was uninformed. So, if you're uninformed, that does not make you a bad person. I was one of those uninformed people. A friend of mine said, "Well, you're on Medicare." And I went, "No." And they said, "How could you not be?" But if you miss the enrollment date, there's a lot of penalties. And I know all about the penalties, Stephen.
Yes.
I know you would understand that.
Yes, there can be lifelong penalties if you do not enroll in Part B when you're required to, as well as Part D. And as I mentioned, those are lifelong penalties. And that's why working with someone like myself, who I educate you with respect to enrollment periods, so that you don't incur those lifelong penalties. It makes a big difference. Like you said,
Oh
you just
my
incur
gosh.
penalties. And it's a lot. It's not cheap. It's a lot of money.
Yes.
Mhm.
What is the window now for enrollment, Stephen?
That's happening right now. Matter of fact, open enrollment is happening right now. It's October 15th through December 7th. And that's when seniors can review their plans and make plan changes as well. So, as well as there
Now,
are special enrollment periods as well throughout the year.
mhm.
But that is a little bit more complicated. And that's where someone like myself will, do a needs analysis, discuss with the senior, determine if that's something that they can do, change plans during the year.
I got to tell you, I heard about, I talked to my agent, and he told me that this year, I guess the amount they put into my Social Security is going up. And I was so excited about it until I heard that the cost is going up too. I thought I was going to be coming out ahead for a change, but that's why I got to tell you, I'm going to emphasize this throughout your show, how important it is to get a good agent like Stephen. Stephen, you cover all of New Jersey, right?
I cover New Jersey, yes, as well as I'm licensed in 39 other states as well. But
Okay, so
New Jersey, my backyard.
Yeah, let's talk about prescription drug and the coverage they get with Medicare.
It's a great question. So with original Medicare, as I mentioned, it's a federal program. You have Part A and Part B for your hospital and your doctor, and you could have your supplemental. But they have a separate program for prescription drugs, which is the Part D program. And with that program, what we do is review, someone's medications, pharmacies they work with, to help them determine what would be the right plan and the right carrier that will best meet all of their needs. As compared to a Medicare Advantage plan, the prescription drug benefit is already built into that plan. So there is a difference on the enrollment process. So again, Medicare Advantage, all encompassed, every part of Medicare is included. Original Medicare, you need to enroll in Part D, which is a separate prescription drug plan. And a lot of changes this year in the landscape of premiums and drug costs.
We just got a text from Jonathan in Jersey City. He wants to know, if I am getting insurance through work, do I still apply for Medicare?
Not necessarily, and it depends on the situation. If he's working for a large employer, for example, he can possibly delay his Part B premium. But again, every situation is different. Everyone who they work for and what's being offered. So it's very, very important that, for example, Jonathan would have a conversation with me and we would do a needs analysis to understand the benefits he's receiving from his employer versus Medicare benefits. So it's very, very important. But yes, they can delay the Part B premium if need be, if they work for a large employer. But again, it's on a case-by-case basis that needs to be reviewed. And
What
a lot of
about
seniors, right.
somebody who just wrote us want to know, does Medicare cover dental? And well, we talked about eyeglasses, dental and eyeglasses and hearing aids.
So original Medicare does not cover dental, vision, hearing. Those are not. You'd have to buy a separate plan for that. Now, Medicare Advantage, that is one of the perks of a Medicare Advantage plan for some seniors, that it does include dental, vision, hearing benefits, as well as possible a gym membership, as well as we call over-the-counter benefits. They might get a monthly or quarterly stipend that they can use for over-the-counter benefits.
You know, we're doing a lot of Medicare shows, and it seems like Medicare Advantage offers more than just the original Medicare. Am I wrong about that?
Well, it depends. It's on how those plans are structured. Again, with someone like myself, we'll do a needs analysis to determine, is Medicare Advantage the right plan for you versus original Medicare? It also comes down to cost. It also comes down to budgets for some people. So in certain situations, yes, the Medicare Advantage plan might be the best plan for someone, but we'll do a needs analysis to determine that, and see what best worked for them.
And when they sign up with you, they don't have to write a check, do they?
For the Medicare Advantage plan? Well,
Yes.
no, they're not writing me a check. No, they're paying the
Right.
insurance. They're paying the insurance company. And some of those plans have zero premiums, and that can be attractive to some seniors. So again, it really depends on the needs of each senior regarding their health care, what's important to them. And the needs analysis is so important. And that's why we take the time to do that with every single senior I speak with.
In New Jersey, do you have HMO and PPO?
Correct. There's HMOs and PPOs. Yes. HMO,
Well,
more in network, a little bit more restrictive.
Okay, I wanted to tell people because I'm on HMO, and I chose this policy because I knew my orthopedic surgeon and I really trusted him. And it showed that he was in the group. So I went with that. But then it turns out that some of these providers have their own group within a group, and I wasn't allowed to use that orthopedic surgeon. Have you ever heard of that before?
Unfortunately, I have, yes. And that's why, again, so important with the programs that we use. We put in all of the doctors for that senior. We put in all of their medications. And this way, for example, if they're enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan, we're going to be able to see, are there doctors in network? Are the medications being covered properly? And that is the importance of doing the needs analysis so that, as you just mentioned, your doctor's not in network anymore. So we want to make sure that all of your doctors are in network, as well as all their prescriptions are being properly covered. It's very important to do that needs analysis.
And what about someone who wants to work past the age of 65? Do they still need to enroll in Medicare?
Not necessarily if they're still working. If you're saying that someone's still working for a
Yes.
large employer, no, as long as they have credible group coverage, that they can continue with their employer coverage. And once they leave their employer and no longer have credible group coverage, yes, we can come back and we can get them enrolled in Medicare properly with no penalties. And the reason is because you're losing their credible coverage. That's very important for people to understand. I mean, credible coverage is an important term. A lot of people may not have credible coverage and miss the opportunities we just mentioned and incur penalties for Part B and Part D.
What about, I guess, if somebody finds a better option, can they change their plan?
A better option in plans, for example?
Yes.
Okay. Well, during the open enrollment period that's happening right now, the answer is yes. They can review our plan, change their plan. As I mentioned before, there are what's called special election periods throughout the year. And if someone should meet certain qualifying events, yes, they may be able to change their plan. But just because someone is enrolled in a plan and their friend tells them, oh, I'm in this plan, you should be enrolled in this plan, you can't just change plans. So that is very important to know. And again, that makes a big difference, understanding the enrollment periods and when you can change your plan.
And I guess this will be our final question from a text we got in. Thank you so much for bringing this show out. I know that people need to be better informed. And again, that's why we do a show like this. My question is,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Steve. You broke up there. Having some audio difficulties. Can't hear you. Sorry. Can't hear you, Steve.
can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Okay. It wouldn't unmute. That's strange.
I saw
Tell
that.
people how they can reach you, Stephen.
Oh, sure. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, someone can give us a call at 908-808-4645, or they can go to my website, which is www.fromeis.com. And on the website, there is a link to schedule a free consultation. So that's the best way for someone to get in contact with me.
Well, you're going to be back again with us next month. I know this is such a busy time for you. What a great job, first show.
Well, thank you very much.
Again, that's 908-808-4645. We're going to go to a small break. We'll be right back. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.